As we begin our application for the Center of Excellence, we're honored to have this opportunity. It's been a journey for the Milwaukee Area Technical College School of Nursing to get to this point, but we're proud and we assure you that our stories will enlighten.
I have an older sister that's a registered nurse that graduated from MATC in 1979. Our mother also is a retired registered nurse, so it runs in the family. I came from another college in Memphis, so I was able to transfer credits to MATC. It worked out really well for me. Once I got into the program, I was very focused. I believe MATC does an excellent job preparing you for the workforce. I was able to get a job after graduation at a hospital where I was for 18 years and actually started progressing into the education role while I was a nurse on the floor, precepting other new nurses and patient care assistants. So it was really great.
When you see a drug and you don't know how to pronounce it, it's awesome to have the little iPad and to go into that and go to the audio and hear how it's pronounced, and there you go. It sticks with you too.
Your patients, for example, my orthopedic patient was getting a pain pump, or they didn't know what it would look like, and there's nothing Aurora could print off, so I Googled what the pain pump looked like, where it was placed, and brought it in. She was like, "Oh, great, thanks for showing me."
Help me! The students every semester nervous. Yes, they make mistakes. They do. We debrief between each state or each part of simulation.
I didn't do
Again,
it.
just reinforcing and enhancing learning.
I didn't do anything.
And the student feedback is great. It's so positive. They, sometimes they walk in and they say, "Oh, this is my last simulation, yay!" And they walk away going, "You know what? That was the best one ever."
You catch a mistake after you do it, or you don't realize you made a mistake until afterwards. So those extra eyes, which are the other students and your instructor, they'll basically debrief you and say, well, this is what you could have done, or this is what you forgot to do. In the simulation area, you still take care of the mannequin just as if they're real, but if you make a mistake, it's not life-threatening. So it's awesome.
I learned you don't realize what you have until it's gone. So when I was in there, I was in there with another classmate and we're running into each other. We're trying to walk. You're like getting frustrated because nothing's as easy as it should be. You can read these instructions, but you can't because you have these goofy goggles on your face. Then your feet are like having these weird sensations in your feet because they put things in your shoes. And then your hands all your sensory motor is like thrown off. Then when we were in clinical, I noticed a lot of the people with dementia, they just kind of shut down. They don't want to get out of bed. They don't want to get dressed. And then this put it into perspective. Like, it's really hard when you know how to do this, but you can't accomplish it. It's like you're trapped in your own body.
SimChart is a product that is fairly new to us, but we're starting to integrate it into the classroom as well into our simulation. But it utilizes it to help students better understand how to develop care plans and how to develop medical record cards or medication cards. And they begin to understand that all of these components are actually integrated into the electronic charting records that they see in the hospital.
We have students from all over Milwaukee, even other counties, and if you're put in a group with several people that live all over, it's just not feasible all the time to collaborate on something in the same physical space. But with Google products, we can actually collaborate and be in our individual homes, at a library. Maybe there's a group of us, two or three of us here, one person is in Racine or whatever, and we can collaborate on projects together in a very fluid and easy way, but we don't all have to be in the same space. It's fantastic.
The students really appreciate the extra time that they can come to the lab to practice beyond the practice time that they get during class. It's been a wonderful place for them to come and be with their fellow classmates and work together in groups. It's a great place for someone to come if they like to practice on their own. They have been overwhelmingly appreciative of the extra time.
We've had really positive responses from students about iClickers. We really like them because it gives us an idea of how well the students understood the material. They can participate in class and not feel embarrassed if they don't know the right answer. They can legitimately put in the answer that they think it is and find out whether they're right or not.
And rather than having that, like I said, that fear of raising your hand very sheepishly, you do have that ability to answer and kind of see as a whole how the rest of the class is thinking.
While I was in nursing school, I wrote several poems about different nursing theorists. One of them was Florence Nightingale, who is the founder of nursing. And so the faculty in first semester here have asked if they can include that in their manuals. For me, encouraging students is half the battle in getting them to perform more calmly and with a higher level of self-confidence. So I pride myself on, I won't say pride myself, but one of my focuses in the clinical is to always start off the day with something positive and have each student articulate words of encouragement that they can encourage the entire clinical group. It helps set the tone, it helps the students focus in on their ability to provide quality, safe, competent care on a daily basis.
The diversity goals of Aurora Healthcare are really daunting because the population of Milwaukee is changing so significantly. And we know that we need a workforce that really represents the patients we serve. So our targets are really to increase our African American nurses, as well as increasing our nurses who are Hispanic and male, of course. And MATC has been the main, I think, source of recruiting graduate nurses in diverse cultural areas.
The type of tests that they gave us, it corresponded with the type of questions that were on the NCLEX. I believe our clinical experiences helped to, I would want to say, solidify what we were taught, and the review class, that really helped as well, just to refresh on some of the things that we learned earlier on in the program. But I think that it really helped because I passed my boards the first time.
MATC is a great starting ground for nurses. Sometimes you don't always have the option of going to a 4-year school right away. And I think MATC, it was like my own home. It was like a family to me. The 2 years that I spent here in the nursing program, I met lots of people, lots of friends, many nurses that I still work with and communicate with to this day.
Many of our faculty and students are involved in professional organizations. Many of us are members of the National League of Nursing, as well as the National Black Nurses Association, the National Hispanic Nurses Association, and so as you can see, we have a diverse portfolio of community involvement and professionalism.
MATC, Milwaukee Area Technical College, holds a very special place in my heart because I realize that all these years later, there are still Brenda Bowers in the world that are sitting somewhere saying, if only I could advance myself to make a difference for my children, my family, and society, but where can I do that? And I'm able to direct them to the MATC programs. That makes me very excited in 2013. It is a necessary springboard for those who may not otherwise matriculate into this profession. As our population becomes more diverse, as we become more of a minority-majority community, we need nurses of color, male and female, that can deliver culturally competent care to the populations we serve. Many are going to do like me and even go on to get their PhD or their DNP. But how do they get in the door? I say MATC is a great doorway to go through, and I hold those doors wide open because someone held them open for me. As I stood on the shoulders of others, I welcome others to stand on my shoulders, and my shoulders include Milwaukee Area Technical College as the entryway to nursing practice and its professionals.
Everything's connected to everyone. Everyone's connected to everything. Everything's connected to everyone. Everyone's connected to everything.